Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's Golden Win Geekout. I'm your host, Danny, and I have recovered Ryan from the clutches of Weather Report.
Yeah. You're not wrong. It's like this fucking blizzard in the Midwest hit me hardcore. So yeah, no, seriously, screw you, Weather Report. You made me miss out on last week's Golden Win Geek Out.
Yeah. Just to let you guys know, usually with how we run things, usually on Fridays, pretty much as soon as Ryan and I are home from work and we've settled down, we come on and we watch the episode together, and then immediately afterwards we start recording the discussions. So naturally, last week, because of the holidays, I knew Ryan was going to be visiting family, so okay, that was no big deal. So I was like, okay, all else fails, he'll probably be back maybe like the next day or something. So it's like, we'll just do it the next day. But, as I had mentioned last week, it was Saturday night. I hadn't heard a word from him. And that was when I decided, okay, let me at least record something on a backup just in case. And yeah, I did not hear from Ryan whatsoever until like the following Monday. I mean, it screwed over his entire weekend.
Really? It really did.
Yeah, but suffice it to say, we got him back now, and perfect timing too, because, oh man, shit's going down.
It really is, actually. Cause it's like, yeah, last time, we got like the big fight, showing off Mista and the Sex Pistols. But now we get to see another stand in action on top of another big introduction to a new party member.
Yes, so I know I briefly mentioned last week what we can expect, and sure enough, that has come to pass. So let's talk about Trish Una here. And oh my god, I love her already. I mean, I loved her in the manga anyway, because I love the sassiness that she brings to the group. But yeah, having now seeing this like animated with a voice, oh my god, I love her even more now.
Oh my god. It's like, no, I still remembered when Narancia like pulls the knife like right out of Trish's neck. And how does she retaliate? She literally breaks his goddamn elbow.
Yeah, she like twists his arm around just to throw the knife right back into his face. So it's like, okay, she actually knows a little bit of self-defense. Although what's probably even funnier was that, I guess like this is an added thing in the anime. So we've known that Narancia always carries a switchblade knife and everything. That was what he had used. But apparently in the anime, he has two.
Yeah, it's like, when did you get the second knife, Narancia?
Yeah, you put one knife in my face. Okay, here's another one going in yours.
It's like, oh man. Again, this is another one of those very small details that I wouldn't even notice, aside from Danny here. Because, like, much like some other instances that happened, with the anime adaptation compared to the manga, it's like, I don't recall, for a second, I thought it was like, I could have sworn, like, in the manga, Narancia did the exact same thing where he pulled out two knives. But no, we have Danny here be like, oh shit, she has two. When did this happen?
Yeah, well, I'm looking at the manga page right now, and it's like, what you call it, his other arm, his right hand, yeah, he's actually holding on to Trish's arm. Probably like trying to like force it off of him.
Right.
So that's where I was like, oh god damn it, man. but yeah, so I was like, at least as of right now, I even did a quick Google search on my phone while we were watching the episode. I was like, okay, this episode's been out for a couple of hours now. By the time Ryan and I get around to it, someone had to have gotten a name drop for who is voicing Trish. And from what I'm finding, at least as of right now of this recording, I'm not finding a voice actress name. So I'm like, god damn it, I want to know who the hell is voicing Trish.
Yeah, it's because it's like, I'm already loving Trish's voice in this anime adaptation.
Yeah, because like when I look on the JoJo wiki, it's got her voice actresses for the games, just not for the anime. So if somebody out there watching happens to know who the hell is voicing Trish, please leave a comment. I want to know who she is, and I want to know what else she's been in.
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, and then speaking of which, so this was another thing I was always really curious about when it came to Trish is, okay, which character design are they going to go with her? Because in the manga, Trish goes through like two or three different character designs before we're settled on the final look that, we all know her as. And I was just really curious, okay, are they going to try and do all the different looks, or are they going to just stick with the final look? And it's just the only reason why I even question that is because from what I was seeing in Stardust Crusaders, when Iggy was introduced, Iggy actually looked like a dog. But then after his introduction, that's when he got the adorable little round face. And the anime showed both character designs for Iggy. So that's where I was like, okay, well, if David Production was going like that literal, then maybe they'll do that with Trish too. Yeah, because if you remember when Trish is first when she gets out of the janitor outfit, she wears like this really weird looking outfit. It's like, I'm looking at the manga page right now. It's like orange skirt with flower prints, some weird red shirt, and like a bustier, some shit on the outside. I don't know how the fuck to describe it, but it's weird as hell. And even her hair is different. It's like the bangs are like really blocky and everything. So it's like, it's kind of weird. And then later on in the manga, I believe this is actually right before we go into, this is right after Man in the Mirror, is, okay, she's wearing the outfit that it becomes her final outfit, but her hair is styled, still the same as what we're seeing at the beginning of the manga. And then I believe it's after the big long train fight is when like Araki like truly finalized, okay, this is Trish's design, and it's going to stay like this throughout the rest of the manga. So her design pretty much kept changing as the story went. And I'm not entirely sure if that's just because Araki really couldn't pinpoint, okay, do I really, I'm just going to keep working on her until I come up with something satisfactory? Or, like, was it like that? Or, one of Trish's character traits that, you pretty much find out even in this, as early as in this episode, is that Trish is a little bit of a fashionista. So it's like, okay, I guess it makes sense why she'd wear different clothes and she'd wear her hair differently, because, that's usually what fashionistas do. So, there is a workaround for getting, all the different looks. But, it's like, nope, we're just sticking with the finalized look from beginning to end.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, with all things considered, it's like, okay, I'm gonna be completely honest here. I completely forgot that Trish had like other, previous, character designs before. They finally decided to go with like a final design for Trish. So considering how used I have been to this final look for Trish, it's like, yeah, I am perfectly content with it.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. Her final look is by far her best look. It's like I said, like,
oh yeah,
the outfit she was wearing when she was first introduced. Like, I don't mind the hair too much. I actually think the hair does look pretty nifty. But her initial outfit is just so fucking weird, and that's saying a lot considering how the boys look in this goddamn part. So it's like, yeah, I look at Fugo, who has holes in his suit, and I'm like, yeah, okay. But then I look at Trish, and I'm like, honey, what the fuck are you wearing?
I look at Giorno. I'm just like, why are you wearing a pink attire instead of the blue attire?
I know, but it's like, I don't know. That's just me. I'm weird.
I know, but seriously, that was like, I've had no issues with the attire for Giorno in the anime adaptation. I was just poking fun at it.
Oh no. I think after like, a couple episodes, everybody like kind of accepted and grew to love the pink look on Giorno.
Right. It's like pink is a great color, just like how great pink is on Trish.
But yeah, so it's like another thing that I know Ryan and I were really chuckling. The scene where she comes out of the bathroom after she got changed, she goes to Fugo, and we get the whole scene where she's saying, hey, take off your shirt. And they're just like, why? And she's like, just do it. It's not like I want to see you naked or whatever. And then we see that, yep, she is wiping her hands on his jacket. And it's like, it's those little attentions to detail that David Production is doing after she lists off all of her demands. What does Fugo do? Throws his jacket on the ground and like starts having a hissy fit. Like, this stupid bitch.
It's like, no, Trish walks away. We get a shot of like Narancia and Missa, just looking like shocked at how Trish is behaving. But then but you get a good shot at Fugo. He has like the shadows in his eyes as if it implied, he was pissed off. We see him like that for like a few seconds. And then, and then right afterwards, yeah, we see Fugo just throwing his shirt on the ground as if he was like, shit!
Yeah, but other than that, I mean, the beginning of this pretty much plays out. I was actually expecting, like kind of like what I said last week, I was expecting maybe we'd get like a flashback or something of, Trish's backstory, like something new added. Because in the manga, it was just, yeah, we got like the barest glimpse of a backstory. And while I understand that, there's probably not much to tell about Trish compared to the boys because Trish has led a very normal life, whereas, everybody else, something has happened that has, shaped them to who they are, and that's why they need the explanation. So it's like, on one hand, I get that, but at the same time, I was just like, I was really kind of expecting, like, maybe we'd see, like, some moments or something of maybe her and her mom while her mom was still alive or something, but surprisingly, they didn't do that this time around. And it's like, I was really half expecting that they were going to do that because David Productions they have been adding a lot to backstories, like even little minor things to kind of help flesh things out. And I was really hoping that maybe they were going to do that for Trish too, but nope. You just got the bare bones backstory that we got from the manga, as Perry Colo explains.
Oh yeah. Or if anything, it's like, I don't know. I mean, it's like, for all we know, it's like, aside from Pericolo just explaining the origin behind Trish, like, maybe later down the road, David Productions will add, like, a legit flashback about Trish's origins.
Yeah, I certainly hope so anyway, because it's like, again, I like Trish a lot, and, even if it's just like, even if it's just like a couple of little flashbacks or something of just Trish as a little girl with her mom being happy or something. I mean, it's like, I will take even something like that, even if it's just for a couple of seconds. Just little touches like that, I would think, would be nice to see.
Oh yeah. It's like, considering how great, David Productions have been, in regards to adding additional, like brand new content to the anime adaptation compared to how you would see in the original manga. It's like, I honestly wouldn't pass them to do the exact same thing with Trish's backstory.
Or it's like, hell, even like when Pericola was explaining, like, what happened, how, her mom died like 2 months prior, and then it was just a couple of days ago was when, Pericolo's guys found her and, took her in, before, the, the assassination team found her. It was like, I was really, hoping that maybe that, like, they'll actually, like, show that. Like, maybe we see, like, Trish or something, like, because, okay, she's been on her own now for 2 months. So it's like, that could not have been easy for her. And it's like, next thing we know is like, okay, here's this strange man that's approaching her and is saying, okay, we got, we're here on behalf of your father. We got to take you in now before someone comes and kills you. It's like, I was really hoping that maybe they will actually illustrate that moment of when Pericolo actually found her and took her in. But nope, they didn't do that this time around. So I was like, dang it.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah, it would have been a nice attention to detail to see, but it's like, no, unfortunately, yeah, you're right. That was not the case.
Alrighty, so now let's move on to the second half of this episode, which is the start of the next stand fight, and the first fight against the members of La Squadra. So this first guy here, his name is Formaggio, and God, it's so weird to see Formaggio with like slate gray black hair in the anime compared to like the red brown that he has in the manga. I'm again, it's just
Right.
like again, I'm just so used to the manga designs that it's like, oh, it's kind of weird, but I'll get over it.
No, I get you.
Speaking of La Squadra,
You're beautiful, you're beautiful, you're beautiful, it's true.
wait, Pinky over there is supposed to be Malone? Yeah, so we pretty much now move on to the next stand fight, which is now Formaggio and Narancia. So now we get a good glimpse of Narancia's stand, Aerosmith, in all of its 3D glory.
It's like for a 3D model of Aerosmith, when they got like the rotating 3D shot of Aerosmith, it's like when you look at it closely, yeah, it's clearly it's 3D, but I swear to God, it's like even at a distance, it really doesn't look like it's technically 3D or anything.
So Formaggio's stand in the manga is known as Little Feet. English dub change name, Tiny Feet. So it's like, okay, we're back to synonyms now. That's good.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's like, and I just gotta say, like, what you call it? Little Feet's, when Little Feet first emerged and, slashes Narancia's face, that was handled really well in the anime. I mean, it was like kind of creepy, like just how he just like slinks out of nowhere and just attacks. It was like, oh god, that's creepy.
Yeah, a bit on the creepy side, yes.
Alrighty, so then it's like, for the most part, we caught the very beginning of the fight. So I think suffice it to say, all of next week will be dedicated to the rest of the fight. So we just pretty much got where Aerosmith goes on the offensive. We see that Formaggio uses Little Feet to shrink himself, and now he's hiding in Narancia's clothes, and he's, taking a look at all of the stuff that Narancia had bought, and he's picking up already that he's like, wait a minute, what's all this girl shit that he's buying? So he's putting two and two together that, yep, these are the people that are guarding Trish. So, we're still in like the first like two chapters of this fight. So, yeah, pretty much, I think it's safe to say all of next week is going to be the Little Feet and Aerosmith fight.
Right. Wait. A thought just crossed my mind. Okay, have we yet to get Narancia's origins earlier in this anime adaptation?
No, that's probably gonna that should happen next week.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah. No, if that's the case, then it's like, yeah, much like how they handle like a Bacchio's backstory or flashback, or like Mista's origin flashback or whatever. It's like the moment one of these members of Bucciolati's gang, starts to shine or whatever, and they bring out their stands or whatever, or it's like, okay, the very next episode, what do they do to start off the next episode? They show off their backstory. So I would not be surprised in the slightest if they do the exact same thing with Narancia next episode. Seeing as how he's literally just showing off Aerosmith.
And that should be the case because it is during this fight is in the manga. This was when we got Narancia's backstory.
Well, okay, all right. In that case, it's like, oh yeah, there should be no reason why they should cut that from the next episode or whatever. And um,
It's like, again, now it's just like, please just show off the full backstory. Please don't do like with Mista where you only gave us half. Oh shit! You know what okay? Now I just remembered something. Not only was this the fight that we got Narancia's backstory, this was also the fight that we more or less got the backstory and the motivations behind La Squadra. So this is when we found out about how the two guys that oh fuck, what were their names? the two guys that were looking into the boss's past, and they got caught, and one of them became artwork, and the other one killed himself. Sorbet Gelato, that's it. That was their names. I had to look that up.
Okay.
I had to look that up.
I was having a massive brain fart with their names too.
Again, they're so incidental. I mean, it's like they literally, like, no one brings them up or anything, but it's just, they're only important just for this one flashback, just to show that, okay, this is why La Squadra is betraying the boss. This is why they're going after the daughter. And, plus it's really the first time where we really get to see the cruelty that the boss can inflict. So we should also be seeing that next week. And, oh man, that one's going to be interesting to censor.
Wait. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I think it's coming back to me. Oh, God.
Yeah, like one of them literally became like a collection of art pieces.
Yes! Oh, God!
Because I remembered you were freaking the fuck out when we first read that in the manga. So it's like, oh, that is going to be... That, for a fact, should be censored, because now we're actually seeing, like, body parts. Like, we're seeing muscles and organs and bones and shit. And it's like, I know I said last week that they've been pretty lax on censorship so far. I don't think there's getting around this one.
I don't think so. I mean, if they do somehow get away with it, then it's like, okay, more power to them, but I'm not holding my breath on anything.
Yeah, this one's... Oh, man. It's like, so we should be expecting 2 backstories next week. So it's like...
On top of the rest of the Narancia fight.
Hot damn, man. Next week is gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's like either next episode will contain like all these like origin backstories with Narancia and La Squadra, and then maybe have a little chunk of like another portion of the Narancia fight, or they're gonna cram all this stuff into the next episode. And if that's the case, it's like, goddamn, I'm expecting to see a content-packed episode next week.
That should hopefully make up for like the lack of reactions that we provided this week, because usually we try and throw in maybe like some kind of like a reaction, like one of our genuine reactions from when we were watching the episode, but honestly, you and I were just so engrossed in this one that it was just like there wasn't really any standout moments. But that may not be the case next week.
Yeah, probably not.
Oh man, but it's like I know I'm really looking forward to seeing the rest of the Little Feet and Aerosmith fight, just because like when I think back to all of the fights with La Squadra, that's like like my absolute favorite is Grateful Dead and Beach Boy fight. Next would be White Album. Honestly, my third favorite fight after that... my third favorite fight after that is probably Metallica. And then after that, it's probably this one, like, with Little Feet and Aerosmith. Like, this was such a great introduction to the team. So it's just like, oh man, I really enjoyed this fight. So I can't wait to see this thing animated.
Oh, me too. No, listen, no. As someone who is a Aerosmith and Narancia fan, just right below being a Mista fan, it's like, no, I am stoked to see the entirety of this fight in action.
Okay, yeah. So Narancia is like number 2 for you for favorite characters.
I would like to think so, yes.
Okay, yeah, I'd say Narancia is probably like number 3 for me. It's like Bruno, Mista, and then I'd probably say Narancia is the next one.
Right. It's like I know Giorno is up there as like one of my favorite JoJo's, but it's like in regards to the gang, it's like I don't know. It's really hard to say. It's really hard to say like this early in the anime adaptation.
Alrighty, but I'm trying to think. Is there anything else that any like predictions or anything else that we may have missed?
Well, I know we've already done our predictions on like how the next episode is gonna play out. Jeez, yeah, honestly, I can't think of anything else. I think we pretty much covered everything we needed to cover for this episode at the very least. And I'm fairly, and it's like, yeah, we'll probably be going like, gonna be like all over the Narancia fight next week.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, so next week we got Origins, we got Minish Cap, and Attack on Titan with spiders. It's like, yeah, so we got a lot of shit to look forward to next week.
Yes, exactly.
Alrighty, so I guess with that said, everyone, hope you guys enjoyed this week's Golden Wind Geek Out, and we will see you next week for episode 10. My god, we're already in double digits.
Yeah, really? It's like, goddamn, feels like yesterday we just got the first freaking episode.
I know. It's like,
And
god,
now
this
it's
is
like we
moving
already-
so quick.
Well, it's like, in that case, it's like, I hope and pray that it's like, okay, I think I mentioned this, like, during a previous Golden Wind Geek Out, but it's like, I hope and pray that this series, it's like, even though, like, a lot of these events have been rather shortened, or at least it feels like it's been shortened, you know, compared to reading the original manga, but it's like, goddamn, this series better be, like, nearly as long as Diamond is Unbreakable. I'm just saying.
I've heard that it's supposed to be about as long as Diamond is Unbreakable.
Okay, that to me, that would make sense, considering all that happens.
So we're roughly 39, maybe 40 episodes, which, is, pretty healthy for this part.
Oh yeah, I agree. I mean, hey, if you want to make it a little bit longer than that, it's like, okay, I'll go with that.
Alrighty, so we will see you guys next week.
Yeah, see you guys next week for episode 10, I guess known as Hitman Team.
Yeah, it doesn't have the same flair as La Squadra, but we'll fucking live.
Much like all these other names that they've had to change during this anime adaptation.
Yeah.
Anyway, see you guys next week. Thank you for listening.